Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It is Tuesday, so that means it's a little song ditty for everybody, and I know that some people say this is one of their favorite shows of the old days. Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. Up one day when he's shooting at some food, up from the ground came a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kidney folks said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be, so they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars. Now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back, you hear? All right. Used to love that show. Nonetheless, let's move it on. Write to my journaling friends. What are the current fears that you're facing? And which are you handling well and which you're handling poorly? Everybody has something that they're concerned about. So tell me, what fears are you facing and which ones you're facing well, which ones you're facing poorly? Get back to me on that. I'll share it with you. All right, moving along. My teacher, BKS Iyengar, says that yoga is the search from restlessness to restfulness. And the teacher studies the caliber of the student and brings them to this teacher standard through the teacher's sincerity, integrity, honesty, and dedication to the subject. You learn the basic three yogas, karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga, which is purity in action, purity in intelligence, purity in love or devotion. And the purity of yoga is the instrument that directs and controls all those three. Now, Rabbi Zalman, another influence in my life, uses some NASA metaphors. It's as if mission control has furnished us with spiritual technologies that enable us to domesticate intuition. And like Star Trek Enterprise, we're ready to go where no one has gone before. But just because we have an extended lifespan, if it's not matched with an extended awareness, then the boosted rocker of consciousness doesn't propel us out of the orbit of Earth to get another perspective from way out there. We take a nosedive back into the atmosphere with an unused payload and an aborted mission. And that's leading us to a certain kind of involutional melancholy and a haunting sense of despair that we didn't utilize what we've had to share that gift with the rest of life, with the world. So for my older friends out there, you may think you've seen it all before, and yet you can still feel it all anew. Being born again, that's the gospel of good news. At any time it can happen. It's never too late. So this is where we have to understand the necessity for unraveling stuff and reweaving. So there's both repair necessary and renewal. And some of the solution comes from dissolution, letting go, bringing about a kind of cleansing. And that's what is also a purification of the heart space, so we can feel again. Like a Buddhist, you might want to initially just know the name of things and classify what's wrong. You might want to touch it with a 10-foot pole and get a little bit more enriched. You might want to kind of magnetize it, manipulate it in some way to see, can I ameliorate the suffering in some way? You might want to destroy the person who's suffering, get rid of the person who's the painee, but ultimately realize you can't. And the highest thing you can do is to let go, not hold on. Recognize it, but don't be so attached to it. Yes, it's not all fun. Some say, well, I better not begin. Like it says in the Bible, don't put your hand to the plow if you can look back. Otherwise, it'll haunt you. So as long as there's doubt and insecurity as a threat, That's going to plant the seed of paranoia, and you'll be back to those fears, some of which you handle well, some of which you don't. So move on to your own understanding of affirmation. Your mind molds and fashions. It rewards, rebounds, and recompenses you according to the law of correspondence. So once you realize that your thought is an action and your subconscious mind is the reaction, don't spend a lot of time activating in reality what you don't want. Instead, go on a rampage of appreciation and see what the attitude of gratitude will give to you. It's as if the universe is waiting for you to show gratitude and appreciation. And the more you do, the more you find you have so many more things to be grateful about. Have a great day.